Hey, Michael Matt here. Did you know that there's more to Remnant TV than just the TV? Check out our newspaper. It's been coming out every 2 weeks since 1967. Click the link below, subscribe to that. Everything is blowing up worldwide. Abortion, gay marriage, destruction of everything going wrong. The Vatican, again, systematically sits back and says, what we need to do is cancel the Latin Mass movement. That's the fastest growing movement of young Catholics in the church today. Nobody would do that unless they were trying to prevent restoration of the Catholic Church, right? Unless they're trying to actually dismantle it. That's what's happening. All while everything is going to hell everywhere we look. Down in Owensboro, Kentucky, for example, the River Park Center hosted Pride Night just last week, where this drag queen, this pile of human dung, impersonated the Blessed Mother of God on stage, looking like this, with the Immaculate Heart of Mary singing some obscene song that I will not show you the clip of, for obvious reasons. It's happening here, friends. This has nothing to do with tolerance. What they're doing, as we saw with the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence or whatever the hell they call themselves, they're actually poking sticks in our eyes. They're actually beating Christians again, whipping them, smacking them, slapping them across the face, us across the face, right? And they're saying, you're going to accept this. This has nothing to do with tolerating them, right? It never was about that. It's the beginnings of persecution. We will take your most sacred images and icons and ideas and personages, and we will mock them. We will spit on them, and you're going to take it, and if you don't, you're a hater. If you don't, you're going to have to be rounded up eventually. You pose a threat, because we do whatever we want. And where's the Catholic Church in all of this? Listening. The Synod on Synodality. Friends, we're positively begging now for divine chastisement. And Pope Francis, again, has gay guys prancing around the Vatican, babbling about Freemasonic ideas such as human fraternity.
So, fraternity, brothers, sisters, under the same God. Yes, they are brought together under one sky.
They're fiddling while not only Rome burns, but the entire church burns, aren't they? They're not sincerely trying to fix anything. And they have plenty of real problems, like the spike of persecution against Christians worldwide, spiking 80% worldwide. Catholic priests being murdered all over the place, right? You hardly ever hear about it, but it's happening all the time. Father Javier Villafana, who's a parish priest of Santa Ana Maya, Mexico, just the latest to be murdered, be shot while he's out on a road, right? But what you probably don't know is that Father is the 9th Mexican priest to be assassinated in the past 4 years. 9 priests assassinated in 4 years. And we're not just losing our priests like that, being shot, murdered in the streets, right? People being persecuted. Our physical presence is disappearing from cities, from the landscapes of cities. Have you noticed? Our churches are burning to the ground. I just got back from France. There is just an epidemic of anti-Christian sentiment in France. There are churches, schools, Catholic buildings and institutions being burned, being defaced, vandalized all over the place. Nobody's even covering it anymore. And then, of course, there's the high-profile ones that everybody heard about, but we still don't understand. Notre Dame in Paris nearly burned to the ground. But why did it burn down in the first place? Why is no one asking those questions anymore? Has it just become so commonplace? The official story, by the way, is that, well, it was probably sparks from a cigarette that burned Notre Dame down. A cigarette? Really? This is the most iconic building in France? Cameras everywhere, and there's some yahoo up there smoking cigarettes and burning it down? Really? But we don't have any video of that, right? We just speculate. Probably a cigarette. What is this, 1951? Okay, fine, it was a cigarette. So what about Saint-Sulpice? This is the second largest church in Paris. This is where the Sharp pilgrimage began just a few weeks ago. It's a big deal, big church. A few years ago, it was looking like this. So what's this? More sparks from a cigarette? From a careless smoker? How about the cathedral in Nantes? Oh, look at that. That one's burning too. Huh. You know, these French guys, they got to stop with the smoking. And just a couple of months ago, the Church of the Sacred Heart in Bordeaux. We had a Latin Mass there once, years ago. Beautiful church. Well, it was set on fire, some garbage fire outside. Firemen had to come and put out the church there too. And then it was defaced with these unbelievably satanic, like thanking Lord Lucifer for the church burning type of graffiti. So this is what's happening, friends, in the real world. While Francis is listening and dancing around with gay people in the Vatican. This is the real world. The church is literally going up in flames, But it's not just arsonists. And it's certainly not just jihadists. You see, they're busy, as I say. This is intentional. They're canceling the church on purpose. They're shutting her down, friends, on purpose. Let's check out this particularly bizarre headline. And there's this paragraph from the same article. Quote, in the continent that nurtured Christianity for more than 2 millennia, churches, convents, and chapels stand empty and increasingly derelict as faith and church attendance shriveled over the past half-century. And the great and powerful bishop there in Antwerp, Bishop Johann Bonney, he tells the AP, well, yeah, this is painful. I'm not going to hide it, he says. On the other hand, there's no return to the past that's possible at this point. And of course not, Excellency. We can't go back to the past, not when your Catholic churches are being permanently transformed into shops for vendors, you'll see up on the screen, or restaurants, or apartments with really, really cool stained glass windows up in the lofts. Cafes, even climbing walls. Put another one up there. There the guy is, climbing inside the great cathedrals of Europe. Oh, and look at this. This is Bishop Bonney himself in one of his many empty churches. Maybe he should climb one of the walls because there's nothing else to do in there. The place is empty, as he refuses to go back to Catholic tradition, of course. And while Bishop Bonney is refusing to go back to the past, the rest of us are actually going back to the future, and it's working out pretty well. Here, for example, is my little parish a couple of Sundays ago. Now, I shot this myself. It's Corpus Christi. I don't know, maybe Bishop Bonney has seen pictures or he remembers hearing about that feast. I don't know. But you see all the young people, all the families, right? And that's just one of the 4 masses, traditional Latin masses that take place in my parish here in St. Paul. but there's no going back, right? Bishop Bonney, you genius. No, just watch her burn, baby, because there's no going back. And in France, well, it's pretty much the same story. In some places, it's even more overtly satanic, what's happening to the churches. Somebody recently sent me this video of what one tourist discovered in a French church when she whipped out her cell phone and started filming as she enters the church. And here's what she sees. First, you see the facade there, Our Lady, the angels, of course. And as she's talking, speaking in Spanish, but she says,
and, well, I'm going inside, and see, now it's a gallery. It's a gallery where they kept some of the art, some religious ornaments preserved as well, some paintings. But see how the center of the church looks like, and the ceiling, see how it looks now. Actually, they've deleted everything. They didn't restore it. They changed the paintings. They proudly changed the paintings. They have a video here where they show El Diablo, the devil. A video game they're featuring. And they used a church, substituting the art in it, for the promotion of a video game named El Diablo. I don't know how to tell you how I feel. The paintings are horrible. You can't see clearly how it looks because it's dark here, but well, This is what's going on in France.
Now again, it's stunning to me that there are people who are still in denial. They're still waiting to unpack the bags of Vatican II, while paintings and frescoes of Our Lady and the angels and saints and our Lord have been replaced in French churches with paintings of the devil. What's it gonna take to convince you guys? Big microphone, guys. What's it gonna take? He's just gonna keep going, right? The devil has literally taken over the church since Vatican II. It's just getting worse, worse, and worse. And of course, it's not just the buildings. So tonight, we're gonna rush in where angels fear to tread, and we're gonna talk about clerical section.